Get beyond the thumbnail today because I have a Pac-Man maze as the thumbnail because that's what we're doing today. It's a just wild random idea I had in my head. I was like, what am I gonna paint today? Then I was thinking of what video game character I could paint because those are usually pretty fun ones to do. Like I did the Zelda and the Pokemon one, for example. And today I decided to do Pac-Man. No particular reason. I'm not like a gigantic Pac-Man fan, but I do have some video game ties to it. It was the first video game I remember playing, or at least seeing being played. I forget if I actually touched it. I think I tried playing with it, but I think it was just in demo mode. But I was too much of a kid to realize it. And I did play Pac-Man Adventures for the SNES as a Let's Play in a former life. I don't know if I want to play that one again on stream or something. Probably not, to be honest. It, I got as much enjoyment out of that game as I think I was going to get. But in any case, as you see, I have pre-blackened the canvas. Because, oh, I need to bring up my stream live so I can see if anyone's going to be chatting in a bit. But yeah, today's music of choice, I guess I can show you. It will be the soundtrack of Pac World. That's a game I've never played. But I remember seeing like little demos of it on like old G4 back in the early 2000s. Uh, I hate how quickly my laptop decides to go to sleep after frickin' resting. Let's see. Pac-Man maze painting. Okay, cool. Is everything in order? Yep, looks like it. I'll be able to see things. I also have the subject matter, the Pac-Man maze itself. So let's see how this goes. Let's flip. Let's flip over for a second. There we go. I think that will show most of the painting anyway. It's not going to be perfect. I just want to have like a general look and feel of a Pac-Man maze, and I might throw in an extra Pac-Man as a bonus. Well, not a Pac-Man. Yeah, Pac-Woman. Why am I being coy about it? I do have heightened anxiety today, but I'm going to try my best to look past that. Oh, I forgot I left all my paintbrushes to dry, but they are not dry. They are not dry at all. Doesn't matter that much. But I do need some type of stencil tool or something. Let's see. I'm just gonna grab another paper plate. No one's watching it anyway. I'm not surprised though. Usually the YouTube short format has people popping in by now. And that can be one adventure about it. I just want to paint anyway. Come on, let's see. Where the fuck are my paper plates? They're usually right the fuck here. Now I can't find them at all. Anything else I can use? Not really. I guess I can use these plates and remove my delicious fucking cream cheese not filled, but icing brownies. Alright, I'll just use this. That works. Anyway, let me play the music now, and then we'll get started. Yeah, let's mix the paint right here. Can people see that in the stream? Let me look in here. Yeah, they can. Cool. I kind of like that. Maybe I'll do that for my setup in general. Let me move where this is. Yes, I can see my stream. Never mind. It's not that important. I think the subject matter is honestly more important than the stream itself because it looks like the setup is fine. Let me turn on the music just a tad. There we go. I think that'll do it. Let me use one of the new brushes. Is there one that can do lines? Yeah, I do lines. Coke. I don't do Coke, I do Pepsi. Did I really just reference whatchamacallit on stream? Okay, I'm gonna do my best to do the lasery looking lines, but it's probably not gonna be successful. And these are not gonna be straight lines. I am incapable of doing perfectly straight lines. I just want to have like the general idea, look and feel of the Pac-Man maze. But I'm already having second thoughts about this. But I'm already in too deep. I have the thumbnail. I have the Pac-Man world music. I can't give up now. You can do it, Penelope. Salutations. I forget if I said my own intro. Okay, let me make this a little thicker anyway. I think that's part of the problem. A lot of glare, too, from my lighting, unfortunately. With the colors I'm using being so dark, that kind of makes the problem worse. Kind of wish I didn't fill that line in there, but I feel like it's too late to fuck with it now. Also, this has like a more rounded edge anyway. I'm gonna keep on this one, do that, and then go down. It will eventually stop at a curve. I'll do a general approximation of where that stops, but it definitely won't be a 1-to-1 ratio. Actually, I think about here is good. Then it starts to indent in. The same thing happens on the parallel sides over here from the looks of it. I mean, obviously, that's just how it is. Get to the approximate same area. So, this is definitely not symmetrical. Doesn't have to be symmetrical. Pac-Man is in a, he's in an art maze. Yeah, exactly. It's an artistic liberty. Exactly, yes, artistic liberty. That's what's happening here. Actually, it's pretty close, though. Not sure I picked the right blue color. I might have wanted to pick a brighter blue so it would contrast more. But, it's not too bad. I think once I put the dots in, people will get the idea. And if not, I can always go back and paint over it with a brighter color of blue. It's the glazing of it. Alright. I was supposed to make that way wider. In fact, I kind of made an inverted maze by accident. But I think it's too fucked up now, and honestly, I kind of like the vibe. It kind of has a Pac-Man, like, it has a Pac-Man vibe anyway, so I'm going to stick with that for now. Alright, no, I'm not. Actually, I changed my mind on that. I do gotta add some things like squares here, though, to make it make sense. And, oh, I made it's not wide enough to make 2 triangles like it is in the regular one, but I think 2 are fine. I do that because it's supposed to be closed in. And this is actually a void, so we're going to keep that open. Yeah, you glaze over with the paint thicker, but right now I'm trying to get the basic outline done. And I'll worry about making it pop out more. Yeah, it can be seen mostly well on stream, it's fine. Yep. Let's see. And then it goes and loops again like this, but it's a much wider one. I'll make this one a little wider. But only a little bit because I can't make it too wide anymore. I won't have room for anything else. Alright. And then for the most part it goes down, there's just one little tiny indent towards the bottom here. Alright. And I'm going to do that because I plan on painting something down here too. Just for a little extra flavor. Digging the soundtrack so far. Very upbeat. Alright, what am I doing here? I gotta go painting down and doing the indent in the same general vicinity. Doesn't have to be exactly symmetrical. Yeah, I'm trying to think I want to paint a brighter blue over this, but I think I'm already committed to the outline of it at least. Technically, this is all double lined. I'll do that in a moment after I have the basic parts done, though. Let's see. Did I do anything there? No, it's pretty much like this already. Let's see. Actually, not much there. There's some double lines here, though. I'll just try to subtly put there. And yeah, for some reason, I have to be more subtle with my brush strokes. It figures I'm doing more decent commentary over the painting where no one's watching. And I got one extra light, so maybe someone popped in at some point. And I'm surprised. This is the first time the short format has. Yeah, I'm worrying too much about it. And streamers talking about their view count on stream is cringe. And I am cringe, but I don't want to be that kind of cringe. So I'm just gonna stop complaining and get back to painting. And as if anything, it's probably less pressure. It's definitely not a perfect maze, but I want to try to get it as decently as I can get it. It's all an approximation. I've already said that. Let's see. Just do that for that. There we go. Let's see. No, I obviously paint the inside of the babies, but we'll start on the top for that. We're gonna have to make some Tetris T blocks. Let's start with this one. Alright, that's a good start. I didn't mean to fill it in like that, but I think we're gonna have to not have double edges like out here. I didn't really do that over here. I'll attempt it real quick. Yeah, that's good. Like I said, I'm probably going to color this all in with a brighter color than blue anyway. There's that T, and then there's like a longer T. But, yeah, let's just do that. Alright. Obviously, this is a very narrow corridor there, but oh well. Honestly, it just makes the maze thicker. I don't know. It actually makes it thinner and more claustrophobic and scary is what I actually meant to say there. So kind of the opposite. This is a relaxing song. You know, the Pac-Man World soundtrack might be healing me. Alright, and below here is the square where Pac-Man is. There is a little white door spot there that I'm going to put. Yeah, I haven't even put the dots yet. Just wait till we get to that part. And this is where all the ghosts are kept. But I'm going to put the ghost in the maze itself, just so it's cooler. Hello, viewer. We are painting a approximation of a Pac-Man maze. Let's see. Yeah, I definitely have more room down here. In fact, I might have too much room down here. Nah, not really. This is actually fine. Probably barely just enough room, if anything. There's another T right here. Pretty long T, too. Maybe a little bit too T-shaped, but whatever. Actually, I didn't make it T-shaped enough, rather. But I think they're gonna have to settle on this. I'll try to make it a little better, though. Oh well. Here's where Pac-Man's gonna be. So let's make this a little, make this a little wider. Move this a little longer. And we will put little rectangles right here. I fucked up though, but it's fine. I just make one solid. I don't think anyone's gonna notice, right? Happy little accident. As I paraphrase a great legendary painter. Maybe I can't get every little shape on here. I'm gonna try to do as much as I can. I'm really bad at the TV squares, unfortunately. I'm gonna try my best though. I think this is probably the best looking one I've made so far. It looks more like a mushroom, but I'll accept it. You think I'd be better at making T blocks? Being a fucking former Tetris speedrunner, semi-retired, gonna get one PB. Haven't played that in a while. I don't think I can stream it though. It just doesn't work. I have to record. Yeah, if I get a seat of whatchamacallit, an old TV, I can work it out. But for now, that's not happening. It is like a sort of a lopsided T block. Lopsided. That actually might be a benefit to me. Of course, I made it closer to an even T, but I didn't really want to. Alright. I think I'm going to put, yeah, there's like an L. And it's below this. I'm going to make a approximation balance. Like, it's a little bit different than how they're lined up from other teams, but I think we want to put it here to make this maze seem a little more rounded, you know? Alright. I think we have a good approximation of the maze itself. I do want to paint, once it dries a little bit, I do want to paint over it with some blue paint, brighter blue paint than what's here. But for now, what do I want to paint next here? Maybe Pac-Man himself. Let's see, put a little, just a tad bit of yellow. I don't need that much. That's good. I put lemon yellow for Miss Pac-Man. No particular reason, just to make them slightly different. But we're gonna give this paintbrush a break. Doing something a little more rounded. Actually, I take it back. This paintbrush is fine for this. Yeah, but that paint's not gonna wash off immediately. I think this paintbrush will be a good balance. Let me try to get it out of the fucking... Honestly, this thing is more trouble than it's worth. I just want my paintbrushes, but please. Alright. I'm gonna try to make Pac-Man. Action. Technically, it is a yellow ball in the picture I'm looking at. But I do want to try to, like, do a... I'm gonna paint it black, though, to give Pac-Man a mouth. But I think with my... I think I'm gonna have a much better chance at painting the black color over it to make the mouth than I do trying to scope it out. I'm gonna go look a little more 3D and dynamic too. I might have to make the mouth later on though. Honestly, I think it's I'm not gonna use the lemon yellow for Miss Pac-Man. I've changed my mind on that. I'm gonna put Miss Pac-Man right here though. I'm gonna do my best to actually make her a little bigger than that one, but also Pac-Man shaped. There we go, it's a little better. Not perfect. Probably looks more like a Langolier. But I'm gonna let this dry a little bit. Let me just tap it up with some thicker paint. But once it dries a little bit, I'm gonna paint the bow on with a little bit of red paint. But for now, I think that's good. What else? What else? What else? What do I want to paint next? We should probably start with the ghost. I'm gonna do red for flag because we're gonna need the red for Miss Pac-Man's bow eventually anyway. Let's turn this a little bit. Oh, Dennis? Yes? Kate's got a doctor's appointment. We'll be back. Okay. Right. Yep. Alright. Yep. Kate's gonna die for it, but she's gonna join me later for a stream. We're gonna be playing Pokemon Legends Arceus. That should be a lot of fun. No, that's not the one I wanted. Actually, that one's not very good for this either. Let me look at the other paintbrushes on this one. I don't like this string thing hanging down either. Like, it seems so pointless. Does it tie it to something? I don't know. I think this should work for the ghost just fine. Maybe afternoons just aren't a good time to paint. I don't know how this algorithm works. Too late to worry about that now. In fact, stop talking about that. And actually slap myself. I would just slap my thigh. Yeah. Didn't make as much a smacking noise that time though. Whatever. I'm just gonna try to put the bow on her now. There we go. That's not perfect, but you know what? It's the point across. And put a little black paint there to make her eyes. I was thinking about adding her like a pink rosy cheek, but I don't think that's gonna work. Now let's go with Clyde. The ghost cage is kind of is He goes aggressively after Pac-Man, so I'm gonna have him come this way. Ghosty, ghosty, ghost. Oh my god, it actually looks pretty much like a Pac-Man ghost. I'm gonna leave it the fuck alone, other than around this little edge here. Alright, I'm gonna fill in the eyes with white paint later. I'm just gonna make a little dip of black paint, or just try to make the iris or something red. The big paint that's already there, whichever I decide to do. What to do next? I suppose we can do Pinky. Let's see, let me... That didn't really remove the paint. This one's a lot better for beating the paint off. I did not word that right. Okay, I think that's mostly good. Let me grab whatchamacallit real quick. Some paper towels so I can better wipe off my paintbrushes. So my usual methods are not working. I'm gonna look for my paper plates real quick. They should be here in plain sight. No. Oh, here they are. They are in plain sight. I'm blind. They were at the corner of the table, not where I thought they would be. Oh well, it's not a big deal. I used way too much red paint for that. I didn't need that much. It's too late now. I didn't use that much paint up. Okay, good. This paintbrush is now good to be used for something else. Let's make Pinky. Do I have cyan paint? I might have cyan paint. If I don't, I already have a backup plan, but I'm gonna double check that. Nah, not seeing cyan on here. I'm just gonna take some turquoise and add a little white paint to make it brighter, and that'll be close enough to cyan, I think. But first, let's make Pinky. I'm gonna give Pinky a bow as well. Alright, is Pinky a girl actually? I forget. Never mind, I'm just gonna make a pink fucking ghost. I'll put Pinky front and center. Because they're gonna pop out pretty well. Okay, that's pretty good. Alright. I used way too much of this paint. Once again. Yeah, I need to go like little tiny squirts from now on. I've been misjudging. Let's see. I think Clyde is the I forget which ghost is ghost. Which ghost is which. Let me just a little squirt of orange, because that's all I need it for. Is to make ghosty ghost. Kind of no one up here. There's also no one down here, so let me make Clyde. I think that's Clyde. Or is Clyde the red one? I forget. We're making the orange ghost. Here's the point I'm making. Yep. Right there. And we have to make... Actually, Clyde might be... I forget which one. I forget what ghost is which. I am a fake Pac-Man fan. Literally, though. This paint was just a wild hair I got up my ass. It's, I just need a little bit of that, an even smaller amount of white. Gonna try to get me mixing it on stream. Just a little dot of white. There we go. In fact, that might be too much, but too late now. Let's heat this brush. Alright. I think we're good now. And we're going to mix these two paints together to try to make it closer to cyan. Alright, and make a ghosty ghost. How about right up here in this corner? This one looks like more ethereal. I kind of like it. Yeah, let's keep the ethereal look up there. And we've gotten all the characters, but there is one obvious thing missing. Where are all the dots at? Putting the big dots in the four corners. Well, we gotta paint those in with white paint. Okay. After that, the painting's kind of done, isn't it? So this part's gonna take a while. As I gotta find a really tiny paintbrush for this. I think this one should work. Alright, it's good in that regard. Okay. We're just gonna put the dots just on the maze randomly as it feels right. And some of them are going to be a little off center. I apologize for that. This is occasionally re-dip the white paint. Here, okay, I kind of like the dots here a little more. And one of the big dots in this corner. Smaller dots kind of make it look like there's a little death in it. Maybe. I'm going to pretend. One of the big ones over here. A little bigger. Yeah, I gotta make them all a little bigger. They don't have to be perfectly uniform. Just get the general idea across. Oh god. Giving them eyes is not working. They're kind of horrifying. Actually, the horrifying looking white eyes are kind of nightmare feel and I love it, so I'm going to keep it. I need to fix your eyes a little bit more. Yep, there we go. And the spooky pupilless eye. Actually, I'm going to put a little black thing to give them, at least attempt to give them a pupil. I'm doing that with the eye a little wider right here. There we go. Alright, now for Pac-Man, we need some black paint now. So we can do other detailing with it. I did like next to none of it though. We'll go back to dotting after. Actually, let's go back to dotting right now. Because we still got a lot of that to do. Let's see if we can get this brush beaded off well. And just use this and get the rest of it. That's good. Wasn't the brush I was using before, but it seems to be working fine. Nah, it really isn't. Let me get the smaller brush again. Let's see. Where else are the dots are only in a straight line at this part, so we just gotta go up. And they go around everything around right here like you would expect. Put way too many there, but that's fine. There really is that much anyway, but I don't want to do that much. Yeah, maybe I will. Fuck it. Why not? Got a little sloppy up in this corner, but it's fine. Alright. And we'll just paint the big ones right there. One right here. There we go. That's pretty good. Make it look a little more like the previous dots. There we go. I like that. Alright, now we just need a little bit of black paint. Actually, let me get some blue paint. See what brighter blue paint I can find. Maybe cerulean. Wish I had just plain blue, to be honest. How about Viridian? It won't be the exact color like it is in a video game, but it doesn't really have to be, right? So I'm going to trace over the maze with Viridian because I think it will pop out a little more. I don't really like it that much. I'll do it just right there so it looks symmetrical. Fuck it. It's not that bad, actually. I think I'll use a little bit. Yeah, it definitely pops out a little more than the other. So let me keep using it for now. But not everywhere. Just places where it doesn't have too much sharpness. Or, you know what? I'm an idiot. I'm going to paint over most of what I painted there. Let me make sure I get the painting cleaned properly before I do the next step. I'm just going to take some of the blue paint. Where is it? Right here. Then I'm going to mix it with white paint. Should have did that in the first place, honestly. Where's white paint? Right there. So we're going to mix that real quick. And use that. Yeah, and use that to trace the maze to make it pop out a little more than it is now. Alright, let's stir. There we go, that's looking a lot brighter. Not fully mixed yet, though. Okay, that's good. That's good, I think. See how that looks. Pops out more. Doesn't have as much sheep. But I think that's okay. How about I keep kind of the spirit of both? happening. Yeah, nah, nah. Kinda gotta paint over those at least most of the way to make this work. Just trying to fuck up things with my sleeve here. Yeah, this pops out way more than the other blue color. It's not exactly the same blue as the Pac-Man maze, but it's good enough. Yeah, this is a very relaxing soundtrack. I like it. I'm glad I just decided to settle on it. I was hoping I'd finally just a general Pac-Man music playlist, but guess I don't have enough games or fans to kind of do that sort of thing. At least not in the English-speaking world. I think I'm gonna leave the T box. No, I can't do that. I gotta make them look decent, but it's being a little hard to do that. Hopefully, after I'm done that, all the characters will be dry enough where I can use the black paint to draw in the final detail of them. I never made the white for the door. I'll do that in a minute. Let's see. This part's a little tedious, but it will make it look better, so I'm okay with doing it. Actually running lower on blue paint already. I'm surprised. I need to try to use just the tip of the brush more often. Okay, that key block. You see, using the tip of the brush is better. But it makes it less thick, obviously. I'm not doing a perfect job of that, but I'm gonna do the best I can for the rest of the painting. Almost done retracing though. Then we can get to the final detailing and then we're done for the day. Well, at least the painting stream. One more painting today. Not painting, but stream today. Pokemon Legends Arceus. Me and my girlfriend have been playing that every so often. We haven't streamed it in a while, just been busy. But that should be a lot of fun later. It's a really good game. I should have played it sooner. I'm trying to fuck up here a little bit. Oh well. I made that way too thick. Oh well. No one would notice that tiny bit of paint there, right? I will. Oh well, it's fine. Anywhere else I can add the blue paint? Not really. I think everything popped out enough. There's a little bit here I missed, but that's not that big of a deal anyway. There. We're good now. Last thing we gotta do is add just a little baby amount of black paint so we can work on the some detailing on the eyes and stuff. What the heck? The black paint's not coming out. Come on. Dang it, I didn't want to pour that much, but it's too late now, it's fine. Alright, where's that? Yeah, I'm gonna use this tip, small tip brush again. Let's see. Okay, that's good. First thing first is trying to make Pac-Man's iconic now. It's not going well so far, but we're gonna keep trying. There's too much paint. That's not gonna work. I'm gonna try something I really didn't want to try on this painting, but I don't think we have a choice. We're gonna do a stamp here to lessen the amount of paint. Oh, that just obliterated Pac-Man outright. That's okay, we can just paint him again. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Oh no, I messed up his eyes a little bit. Otherwise, I think we're good. Alright, we're almost done. Let's try this again. Let me repaint Pac-Man. Just try to give him the shape now. Or at least something close to it. Not perfect, but it's better than what I had. Still don't like it though, so I'm going to paint some black in the center here. Wait, I feel like I'm erasing Pac-Man. Alright, and then add some more yellow paint. After I wash this off some. Alright. Final attempt to try to salvage this. Okay, people will tell that it's Pac-Man. Honestly, I kind of think Pac-Man died, and that's fucked up, so I might keep that. No, I'm not. Just use a thicker glob of paint to make the color pop out more. Take longer to dry, but it will look better at least. Right, let me try to push the paint around instead of just put a nice even glob. Try to make it look as Pac-Man-like as I can. But it's clearly not going to be perfect. Oh well, that's good enough. Maybe add a little bit more white dots on there. Oh, there's a little bit of blue paint here I didn't do. That looks like nothing at all. Clearly slightly different color, but whatever. It's not, let me try to get some darker blue on here. There we go. Alright. Oh, we still have a little more detailing to do with the black paint. I almost forgot because Pac-Man was kind of a chore to do by himself. Yeah, I kind of stole my black paint. I just mix it together because it will just create more black paint. Alright, we're gonna try to add pupils to the ghosty ghost. Not going well at all. Okay. I'm not gonna do that. I changed my mind. I think we're good now, to be honest. It didn't come out exactly like I wanted it to. But honestly, I think I got it closer than I could have gotten it. Definitely looks like a little kid's drawing of Pac-Man, if nothing else. But hey, I tried. Oh, almost forgot. There's like a little white and the little whiteness of the little white door here. There we go. That works. I was gonna do something else down here where I paint the cherries and all, but let me paint the cherries at least. Alright. There we go. I added a cherry. Just one cherry. One little sweet cherry. There's only one cherry there anyway. Nah, fuck it. Let's add the last little yellow Pac-Man in the corner. There we go. That's a little extra cute detail. But I think we're done for today. This painting took, yeah, it didn't take that long, but here it is, the Pac-Man painting. I think I'll post this. I actually need to start posting my paintings on Blue Sky. Maybe I'll make a thread later. But until next, yeah, let's like just get a nice little zoom view of it. Oh. There we go. Let's see. Definitely needs to dry. Definitely a little sloppy in the detailing, but I'm an abstract painter. I can't do exact details, and I think it looks cute. It looks like a good approximation of what a Pac-Man painting would look like. And I just wanted to paint the idea of it. Get the idea of a hat onto canvas. And if we're just judging on that, I think I succeeded. But until next time, remember, you're out of this world and let anyone tell you otherwise. And trans rights. Okay, bye bye. We're going to be streaming later tonight. Pokemon Legends Arceus.